The king of the north!
Dracarys.
I will hurt you for this.
I am the sword in the darkness.
Lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
Let me give you some advice, bastard.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
What is up, everybody? Jeremy Icenfire here, and welcome to the channel. Well, when it rains, it pours. We just received some massive breaking news concerning George R.R. Martin and the future of the Song of Ice and Fire verse on HBO. As most of you probably know by now, Hollywood is in the midst of an industry-wide shutdown now that the writers and the actors have joined forces in striking. And today, we are learning that it seems that George R.R. Martin's choice to join the strike has had some unforeseen consequences. As of June 1st, George R.R. Martin's deal with HBO has been officially suspended. That is right, everybody. The multi-part deal that George signed with HBO back in 2021 has officially been suspended. And today we're finding out exactly what that could potentially mean. As far as we know up until this point, House of the Dragon Season 2 will not be affected by the strike or by George's deal getting suspended. They are currently filming Season 2 right now and will continue to go on filming Season 2, which is some of the good news. But what does that mean for House of the Dragon Season 3? What does that mean for the upcoming Dunk and Egg series that has officially been greenlit by HBO? And what does that mean about the potential Jon Snow series, the Corus Velaryon series, and all the other shows that they are planning on developing? Martin originally signed a deal with HBO back in 2021 that would have put him in business with HBO for the next 5 years or so, developing multiple different series. Martin recently revealed that ever since the strike started, his role behind the scenes on all of these HBO series has been severely diminished. So all signs are definitely pointing to the strike and George's participation in the strike being the cause for this suspension. Hopefully once the strike is over and everyone gets back to work, George will probably come back to HBO and work on the many different series that he has in development there. And I think the fact that the deal was suspended and not flat out canceled is an indication of that. I have to imagine HBO would not walk away from George R.R. Martin entirely and the Song of Ice and Fire verse that they have poured so much money and time into planning. It is a big draw for HBO and one of their biggest money makers. But as of right now, considering we don't know how long this strike could potentially last, luckily House of the Dragon Season 2 will not be affected by the strike or by the suspension of this deal. But as far as House of the Dragon Season 3 goes, and the upcoming Dunk and Egg series, they could run into a little bit of trouble depending on how long this strike lasts. And the newest statement from George's Not a Blog post doesn't really shed much light on this. He mainly only talks about the strike. So how this whole thing will play out in the long run is anybody's game. The only thing we can guarantee at this point is House of the Dragon Season 2 is still filming and will be airing at some point in 2024. But beyond that, everything seems to be up in the air. George did go on to state that he is continuing to work on the Winds of Winter, but as of right now, there is no release date in sight. And seeing how it has been officially 12 years since the previous Song of Ice and Fire novel came out, A Dance with Dragons, hopefully we get an official update on Winds of Winter very soon. Luckily for George, personal pros are allowed to be worked on during the strike as they are not part of the official guild. So seeing as Winds of Winter is one of the only things George can continue to work on, hopefully he makes some good progress while the strike is active. As far as the other potential Game of Thrones spin-offs go, HBO could potentially continue to work on them without George R.R. Martin there, seeing as HBO owns the rights to develop George's work. But me personally, I have very little faith in any A Song of Ice and Fire adaptation that doesn't have George involved. But that is going to do it for us today. Just a quick breakdown on the breaking news of George R.R. Martin's contract being suspended by HBO, and we will keep you apprised of any news and developments on this subject. If you enjoyed the video, please hit a like on your way out, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications to stay up to date on all of our upcoming content as we will be covering all things A Song of Ice and Fire. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to everybody out there for watching, and we will see you on the next one.